everyone. Today I'm going to make a tutorial on how to turn a portrait of someone into text, so that the portrait looks like it's made from text. And this time I decided to use this guy here, and I'm going to show you how to do it in a few quite simple steps. Actually, it is an advantage if you do know a bit about Photoshop, but I'm going to try to do it in a way that most people can follow me. And I also want to say that this time I'm using a black and white photograph. If you're going to do this with a color portrait, you're going to have to do a couple of additional steps. Basically just making a color portrait into a pure black and white portrait, so just keep that in mind, because it won't work if you do the exact same steps that I do on a color photograph. So, sorry for being a bit short of breath today. I'm a little bit sick, but please bear with me, and I think I'm gonna be okay. So, basically what I'm doing is that I have found a photograph where I have some pretty clear differences between the black and the light in the picture, and the black or the darker parts is what will be the most important parts of the portrait, so you should have a picture with some contrast in it. So we're just going to start off by doing what is probably the hardest part of the tutorial to remember. I do not have any notes, and I hope I remember it myself. Alright, so with my picture layer here selected, I'm going to go to select and color range, and what I want here is, here I want to choose to select all the shadows or the blackest tones in the picture. I'm just clicking like that. You can see from the preview here of the selection what will be chosen. I'm going to click OK, and now you see what's selected. And by pressing Ctrl J on the PC, Command J on the Mac, you can see that I made a new layer here. If I disable that one, you see the new layer is only the shadows. Alright, and back to the first layer. I'm going to do the same thing, select color range, but instead of choosing the shadows, I'm going to choose the midtones. OK, and again Ctrl J to make a new layer with the midtones only. Alright, now I'm going to disable this layer. Just click off the eye like that, and I'm going to take these two layers here. If I'm on the top layer and I'm clicking Ctrl E, I'm merging them together like that. And I'm also now going to make an adjustment layer with solid color. This layer is only for the background to my image, and by making it a solid color layer instead of just a new layer and filling it, I can go into the solid color layer without any problems at all and just change the colors. I'm sorry if you hear any crying in the background, it's one of my dogs. Anyway, so I'm making a new solid color layer, and I'm just going to choose any color really. It shouldn't be too dark, so I'm just going to go with this color right now. Okay, and I'm going to take that layer, just click on it and drag it below my picture here. Here we go. And as you see, I mean, this itself could be pretty cool art actually. But yeah, so the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to disable this layer now for a while, so I won't be using that right now, and I'm going to make a new text layer. Clicking my type tool, and I'm just going to drag out the box like this. There we go. And you should use pretty small font. You can of course play around with different settings now or later on, but I'm gonna use just 2 points. And whichever font you use isn't really that important anyway. So what I've done is I've taken this a Twilight quote, and I just copy pasted it a lot of times. You can use obviously whichever text you want, and I'm just gonna Control A to mark all of this, Control C to copy. I'm going back into my text layer here and pasting it, Control V or edit paste, and I'm gonna click Control V to paste so that I fill my entire document like this. What I want, of course, is the text to be big enough to cover my image. So I'm just gonna show my image here to make sure I get all of this crazy hair with me. I'm just gonna take my move tool and move the text up a little bit to get it all the way to the top like that. And that looks pretty okay. Now I'm just gonna name this layer text like that. And if you have done any Photoshop work using layer masks, you know that once you add a layer mask to a layer, it's white because that shows everything on that layer. And if I paint with black or write anything black on that layer, it's gonna hide what's underneath. So in my layer mask, instead of painting anything there, I'm going to take my picture and put it into the layer mask. So the picture will decide which of the text that shows, which is exactly the effects I'm looking for. So I'm going to take, with this picture layer chosen, I'm going to do Control A to select all of that, Control C to copy it, Control D to deselect it. Just gonna hide that for now. I'm going back here, and to be able to paste my image into the layer mask, I have to click Control and click on my layer. So the white we see here now is my layer mask, and then I just do Control V or edit paste to paste it into my layer mask, and Control D to deselect. So now my picture is inside the layer mask. We'll just click down here. You can see that the effect I now got is the exact opposite of what I wanted. So I'm going to make sure my layer mask is selected just by clicking on it. You can see a small white frame around it, and then I'm just pressing Control I to inverse. There we go. And I am obviously going to choose another background color like that. There we go. And this is my image. This is a portrait of this cool guy from Twilight. Plays Edward Cullen, and it's made entirely out of text. And that's the tutorial for this time. If you have any questions, any comments, if you want to rate or subscribe, please feel free to. And I will be uploading more tutorials very soon. Thank you. Bye.